So, look, don't worry about filling any of this top information, like your name, address. Don't worry about any of that. Just right here, if you could, I'll just have you write exactly what you saw. Just make sure to include, where you were.
I don't even know what the name of that highway.
It's Highway 20. Highway 20. That you just.
All right, maybe my wife gonna figure out right quick.
Okay, just make sure you add in there that you had to slam on your brakes, and the brakes, you had to slam on the brakes to avoid that charger, and the brakes locked up to avoid that charger. That's.
I ain't skid mark or nothing. I wasn't even going for it. That lady in the back of me, she didn't saw what happened. That's how she called that wreck. She was running in the back of me. She pulled on the other side, and that's not in it.
So, but the charger was coming right at you, correct? Right. And that's why you had to slam on your brake, the head on with you. So yeah, just make sure you include that, and that's very important because we're trying to locate this charger right now. So just include that in the statement, and I'll read it over, and then I'll be out of here.
In that video, you can clearly hear the suggestive nature indicating that I need you to say that you had to slam on your brakes and you had to avoid a charger.
Okay, just make sure you add in there that you had to slam on your brakes, and the brakes, you had to slam on the brakes to avoid that charger, and the brakes locked up to avoid that charger. That's.
But then you hear Gold Truck, the witness who's the Gold Truck, what he says. And he says verbatim.
I ain't skid mark or nothing. I wasn't even going for it. That lady in the back of me, she didn't saw what happened. That's how she called that wreck. She was running in the back of me. She pulled on the other side, and that's not in it.
I didn't skid marked or nothing because I wasn't even going that fast. That lady in the back of me, she didn't see what's happening. That's how she caused that wreck. She was going to run into the back of me, and she pulled into the other side.
She didn't want to head on.
But there's a bigger problem. I then obtained the actual written statement.
And this is from the Gold Truck.
This is the Gold Truck. Now, after the statement we just went through, notice, I've obviously redacted names, addresses, and the cell phone number in fairness to the individual who is Gold Truck number one in oncoming traffic. See, the problem with that statement is it is in direct contravention to what was said minutes earlier. It's not written by him, and where it says signed, it's not signed. It's refused. But you see, when I have a witness who is the most critical, and he's telling you, I wasn't traveling fast. We know now that he wasn't. The data shows 2.99 seconds before that he was traveling 28 miles an hour. The data shows that. Now he corroborates that. And he goes on to say, I didn't even make a skid mark. That woman behind me, she caused that accident. And you give me this statement that is refused? I got a problem. I got a problem with that, a big one. What he's saying is she had to avoid hitting him. He specifically stated she caused that accident, but I've got an affidavit for arrest warrant right here. Nowhere in here does it say anything that you guys just saw on body cam. To the contrary, about that vehicle, it says the Gold Truck took evasive action by emergency braking and driving off the roadway to avoid a head-on crash. But you just heard he said, I wasn't even going fast. I didn't even skid mark. So what emergency braking are we referring to here? And what the hell was the point of this report? That is complete opposite. I would expect that you'll show this to where they can read what was said versus what was written just minutes earlier.
And just make sure you add in there that you had to slam on your brakes, and the brakes, you had to slam on the brakes to avoid that charger, and the brakes locked up to avoid that charger. That's.
I ain't skid mark or nothing. I wasn't even going for it. That lady in the back of me, she didn't saw what happened. That's how she called that wreck. She was running in the back of me. She pulled on the other side, and that's not in it.
So, but the charger was coming right at you, correct? Right. And that's why you had to slam on your brake, the head on with you. So yeah, just make sure you include that, and that's very important because we're trying to locate this charger right now. So just include that in the statement, and I'll read it over, and then I'll be out of here. Okay.
By the way, the body cam wasn't on for this statement. It was turned off before obtaining this statement. And this is what we get back in a foul.
For everyone who's unaware of this story is of a former LSU football player by the name of Kyren Lacy, who was an NFL prospect who was supposed to be drafted in last year's NFL draft. None of that got to happen. None of that took place because he was allegedly involved in a collision, allegedly a hit and run, where a 71-year-old man lost his life in a collision. Everything was pointing towards him of being guilty of reckless driving in a head-on collision of ending someone's life. But of recent news and recent video drop that he had absolutely nothing to do with the accident. And when the collision happened, he actually wasn't. He actually was cars behind the collision. There actually was a young lady, who caused the collision. Who the police got with her and coerced her to say someone forced her to basically cause this collision. And she lied in her statement. And the police officer, as we seen there, was there probing people and coercing people to give a certain type of statement in order to blame the charger for this accident, the charger which Kyren Lacy was driving. And it was basically a setup of this young man. And that's not even the most tragic part of this story. The most tragic part is he ends up taking his own life. He died by suicide, seeing no way out, thinking that he's finna to go to prison. And you can only imagine of him thinking that I'm finna go to prison for something that I didn't do. And this has to be, this has to rip the heart out of his parents. Because for those of us who are parents, you can only imagine your child or the fear of your child seeing that they are in a position that you can't help them out of, and that the system is coercing and framing him of something that he didn't even do. And this goes on all the time. And we often, and I have to say this, and I've been having my this talk with my son, who is 7, who will be 8 soon, and it's a talk that I have to have with him about police. And he has questions. He sees stories like this, and he wants to know, Dad, like, what am I supposed to do? Do I call the police or do I not call the police? And you never want him to be fearful to where he won't call the police. You know, but you're also fearful if he does call the police because of things like this. And I know they often give us this mantra or this slogan that every police isn't bad. And no, I don't believe every police is bad. I believe there are some good police. But my question comes to how good are you? Because everyone knows everyone bad in their field. Why are you letting the bad police continue to go? Why aren't you pointing them out? In my field of work, I know all the people that are bad. Right? And vice versa, everyone, if you're in sports, you know who suck. Right? You just do. Your buddy can't play. Like, you just know. Like, so, this is a sad situation. And I wanted to come from an angle of how come this doesn't get publicity? We have more publicity when gangsters get shot or go to prison. We have a young kid who took his life because a police officer decided to frame him instead of doing investigative work, instead of waiting for the evidence or the tape to come out. The young lady who lied, she turned off all her comments. Why turn your comments off? Because you're guilty. And you was going to let them frame this young boy. Now, I want to know what's going to happen to the police officer or to the young lady that was lying or to the police officer that was coercing this whole thing. He might get suspended, may lose his job, maybe. Definitely no charges. But the question stems out, what do we do as a society? Because we just lost a young black brother who had a bright future. What do we do as a society for these type of situations? What do we do? We just lost a young kid with a promising future. This is pretty much basically an Emmett Till situation. He lost his life because of a lie.
Yeah, man, this is definitely a tragedy, man. A tragedy, and it didn't have to be so, which is so sad about the whole ordeal. This could have been totally avoided, man. For this young man who, like Dan said, had a promising future, was on the cusp of reaching his dream of playing in the NFL, potentially a first round pick, by most people's standards, and then to lose the life the way he took his life, the way he did, due to succumbing to the pressure of the lies was told by this police officer that we showed in the clip there, because the police officer didn't want to do his job and didn't want to investigate properly. I don't think he's really going to lose his job. He may get what they call it suspended with pay, or even if he do lose his job, he can go to the next county and be hired by somebody else. So I don't think any really consequences is going to happen, even though it should, but I don't see it happening. Even with this evidence of the officer coercing this man, or trying to coerce this man into providing a false statement, and you can hear clearly on the video on the cop cam that he said that the young lady was the one that at fault for the accident.
Says she couldn't stop. She was about to hit him from behind, so she slid over trying to miss him, and she ends up hitting the guy head on.
Right.
That's what caused the
accident.
But he's saying, so it was a Charger. He was coming fast, so
and you locked your brakes, right?
And so he was like, "No, I wasn't going fast." She was the one going fast, and she was about to hit me. So in order to avoid me,
she swerved
slid over to the ongoing traffic lane and ends up hitting the guy head on.
Yeah, so even with him hearing them say that, he still tried to pursue this false statement, this false narrative, and which eventually turned into an indictment of the young man.
My
Kyren.
thing is this, John. What did he get that? Was it from? Do you think he got that from the young lady?
Got what?
Like the
The
charger? Like,
narrative?
what did he even get the charger? Because the charger wasn't even there, so he didn't see the charger. So where did
No,
he even get this narrative of a charger? Do you think the
so
young lady told him?
so it is another clip. I should have downloaded it to provide it, but it was a guy on the scene. He was a witness to it. He was a truck driver there, so he kind of seen it went down, and so he did say, state about the charger being there, but the charger was gone, or wasn't part of the accident when it happened. But he just said it was a lime green charger that's when the accident was happening, he swerved over to miss it, but kept going. And so that's where that came into play at.
So he just took that and just kind
And
of
he
ran
took
with
it
it.
and he ran with it like as if it was a negligent ordeal. And it was more so like I'm avoiding this. And we've all done this, if it's somebody
Yeah,
swerving, you're gonna swerve
you
out the
you
way.
get out the way. Hey, you keep going. Like, hey, man, shoot, they tripping.
But you could tell that he's done it so much that it was kind of just a normal protocol for him. We're gonna pin this on somebody so we can all just go home and we'll have this closed. But then he continued to pursue it to where, like I said, the young man was indicted and he was about to face grand jury, and there was some serious charges there that he was facing. And then a lot of people don't really speak on. I mean, they do now, but not really just the seriousness of mental health, man. For a young, he was a kid, he was a kid, man. And to you facing where your life is changing for the worse, the absolute worst.
Well, the hardest part is you're innocent, and
And you're innocent.
you're
Yeah.
saying I didn't do nothing wrong.
Wrong.
Like, I don't know how did my life get like this? Like, I didn't
It's
even
like
do anything.
I'm fighting for my life. I'm supposed to get drafted in a few months and living out my dream, but here I am in a nightmare for something that I'm innocent of.
You're telling everybody they asking you like you did this. I didn't do anything.
And then how the media is, they'll take that narrative and then they will run with it.
Everybody said he was guilty. Everybody from Scott Van Pelt, everybody from
Shannon Sharp,
Shannon
Stephen
Sharp,
A.
everybody. He needs to be held accountable.
Accountable.
He need to be doing this. And when I heard the story, I said, "Well, where is the evidence?"
They so quick to just jump on the bandwagon where you have these people out here that believe all law enforcement. Well, if they said it, then it must be true.
That's why we didn't do a story here. When it
Yeah,
first popped off, all they said, "Well, he hit somebody." I'm like, okay, like
what it's more to it than just that.
where is the evidence? Because he's saying that he didn't do it.
Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, it just, man, it's sad, man, that because it didn't have to be this way. Just do now. It is negligent, I would say, of the cop of not really pursuing it properly.
It's negligence on the cop. It's negligence on the young lady who lied,
and the police department, because they knew if you go by the body cam footage, there's no way you should have indicted this young man.
They knew when they got them street cams. When they pull out,
what's the point of the street cam?
When they pull out the street cams and you seen his car so far away from the accident, you knew then, like, oh well, the young fella wasn't involved in the accident.
So I think he was like 70-some yards away from the accident. Why bring him into that?
Well, that's the question, and that's the question I had.
Yeah, why bring him into that? That that's not something that was.
It sounds like he was looking for someone to blame. The young lady saying that. Now I want to know what she said to the officer to make him think that it wasn't her fault. Because why in the heck are you in oncoming traffic? Now she's saying that she was trying to miss hitting somebody, and the guy already told you like she was trying to miss hitting me, like she was behind me. She's about to hit me. She slides over to oncoming traffic. She's in the wrong right there.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm interested to know, especially with these small towns, man, if it's somebody that knew each other, the cop and the lady that was involved. Cause you know how in the small towns be, man. Everybody knows everybody. I wonder if it was something of that nature.
I believe that his parents also had a lawyer as well. They end up getting a lawyer. So I think this is coming out, of his innocence and things of that nature. Because at the end of the day, as a parent, you're going to really want to know, did he really do this? So you end up hiring a lawyer or whatever you hire, a private investigator, whatever it is. And now all of this footage starts to come out, almost a year later, it starts to come out. And now you like, everybody's just going on about their day or about their life. And that's why I said, like, it's so many people that get railroaded. That's why we have so many exonerations. It seems like every month somebody's getting exonerated.
Yeah, I hope his family, man, sue them.
Heck yeah.
I mean, like, for as much as you can possibly get. And I wish, man, I wish it was like this, man. I wish they can actually get it from the police fund or their pension.
They ain't gonna let them do that.
That would stop foolishness like this.
What would stop the foolishness is if they take on the charge.
That too.
Take on the charge.
That too.
If you're caught being a dirty cop, now I'm not saying that the cops can't make mistakes, because you can honestly make a mistake. But if you're caught being a dirty cop, you should take on the charge that you are trying to frame somebody for.
And this is blatantly flagrant that this is one of those situations. So whatever he was facing, that's what you need to face.
Now you can get some bad intel and just be like, this is what we came up with. This is what I was told. But you're sitting here trying to coerce people into saying that somebody did something.
Right.
Ain't nobody telling you, loud, that Georgia, he's the reason why this happened. Ain't nobody saying that. Now, if people were saying that, then yeah, okay.
And then he was telling you on the body cam footage that this is not what happened, even though you kept insinuating.
I need you to write the charge.
Yeah.
The guy told you what happened to the accident. He said she was behind me. She was driving fast. She was about to hit me. In order to miss me, she swerved into oncoming traffic. And that's how the accident happened. The guy didn't say nothing about the charger. He's like, I don't really know nothing about a charger. I see a charger, I mean. And this is why, man, it's so important. Thank you, God. This is why it just hit me. Dash cam, man.
Very vital, man. Today, especially
a dash cam. One that shows the outside of the car, one that shows you inside the car. Man, a dash cam would have saved that young man.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That just kind of got like downloaded into me. Like a dash cam would have prevented everything. He would have just had total proof. Like, nah, I wasn't there.
That's a fact, man. Especially, yeah, that's a fact. Yeah. So if I was an agent, man, or if I'm a coach at a college program, I'm telling these kids, man, when you get these vehicles, get your dash cam, the one that shows outside and the one inside, to cover yourself, because you are a target.
When you get pulled over, when you get pulled over, go live.
Go live. Yep.
That way, the evidence will be out there. That way, it's shared. Many people don't got it. It's out there.
Protect yourself.
When you go to parties, these celebrities, or even just, you don't have to be just young black men. When you go to parties, get your camera on you, man.
They got so many different gadget cameras that you can get.
Some that can go on your glasses. You got some that they small, can go on a button or go on your shirt. Like, get you a camera, man, because people are being railroaded out here, bro.
Protect yourself.
It's so easy for somebody to say that you did something, and now it's hard for you to refute it.
It just they word against yours.
And if you don't have lawyer money, man, you're stuck. You're probably finna get that charge.
Yep. That's a fact. That is a fact.
So, man, that I was wondering, like, man, what do we do? That's what we do. That's what you do. If you have kids, even for yourself, like, man, get you a dash cam, man. They have them on Amazon. They don't cost a lot of money. They have some that you can put on your dash, and it shoots the outside of your car and also shoots the inside. And I know y'all be laughing when people get pulled over in film. That's exactly what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
That way, it ain't your word versus my word. It ain't, oh, I ain't say that. It ain't none of that, because it's all recorded.
Facts.
It's a reason why the police don't really like you have your camera out. Some of them will tell you put your phone away, but it's legal for you to record. You can record.
Mm-hmm.
You can record a police officer doing the works of his duty,
because they're a public servant. That's a fact.
Actually, you can just record, period. You can record in public, period.
Especially here in Texas.
Anything that I can see, it's a federal law.
As long as you're on public property.
It's an amendment. As long as you're on public property. You just can't go on nobody's private property. But if you stand on the sidewalk, you can stand out there with a camera all day and record.
Facts.
It's legal. That's an amendment. You have auditors do it all the time. They do it to test the amendment, to test to see if the police will go against your rights. And the auditors, they sue all the time and get money all the time, because police come out there not knowing and end up arresting them and end up getting sued.
Being foolish.
Because you held me, you went against my rights. You took my rights away. So, man, record. If you have children, man, before you put them in a vehicle, man, have that talk with them, man. Have that talk. And I tell people all the time, man. They say, man, you had to talk with your son about this, about that. I say, yeah, man, whenever my kid comes with a question about it, it's time to talk. Or if I hear my kid bring it up, it's time to talk.
Yeah.
Because he's hearing it from somewhere, he's seeing it somewhere. And I'd rather for him to be educated about it than get educated by one of his little old friends.
Yeah, and that's the worst thing that can happen, man. You you say they not ready, but it's you that's not ready. But
it's you. You're uncomfortable.
You're uncomfortable, but you have to be willing to have those uncomfortable conversations, especially when they come to you wanting to know.
They tell you what babies come from. You like, oh, come from the Lord. Like, come on now. But they're going to school and they little friends telling them what they heard, and before you know it, they got some kind of false fallacy about what happens.
And that's how all these teen pregnancies and all this stuff happens.
And now you see 10-year-old, 11-year-olds pregnant. And you're like, God, dog, that's a baby.
Yeah.
All because false sex education.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as my son started to talk about it, we started having conversations. And I gave it to him real. So he can know how serious sex is. It's serious.
Yeah.
So he can know that it's not nothing to be played with. It's not a game.
Nope.
There's a lot of things that can happen with this. And he needs to know that. Man, there's a lot of stuff that can happen, man. There's only one beautiful thing that can happen out of that, and that's having a baby. Everything else is doomsday, son. Son, casual sex is doomsday. If you just having casual sex with random people, that's doomsday, son. You're asking for problems. Let alone soul ties, but you're asking for problems. You're asking for STDs. You're asking for a random pregnancy. You're asking for issues.
And then there's some stuff you can catch, you can't get rid of.
You know, HIV is an all-time high, man.
Especially in your down there where you at, man. It's
going crazy.
It's the number one in the country.
It's crazy. All this sleeping around.
Facts.
And a lot of this because parents just aren't honest with their kids.
It's true.
You know, you don't want to have that conversation. You're uncomfortable. I didn't have that conversation with our parents. It's just stuff you heard from older people.
Just told don't do it, but that was it.
That's it. You don't need to be doing that because you're gonna have a baby. But other people saying, man, you ain't gonna have a baby, just wrap it up. You're gonna be fine.
Mm-hmm.
You thinking, man, if I just wrap it up, I'll be fine.
Mm-mm.
Not understanding that sex is a habit.
Yeah.
Once you have sex,
you can't close that door back.
You can't close it. That's why they tell you once you lose it, that's it.
Yeah.
You can't. You know, it becomes a habit. And if you're not in a committed relationship, you just start to sleep around. And oops, it's gonna come a time where you don't have protection.
Yeah.
And older people gonna tell you, "Oh man, you can just pull out. Don't worry about that."
Mm-mm.
Next thing you know, you burnt.
That's a fact.
So man, have these uncomfortable conversations with your children, with your family members, about police, about sex, about life in general, about safety. At the end of the day, it all comes down to safety. You want your kids to come back home at one piece and one sound piece. And then two, parents and fathers, don't be in such a rush to kick your kids out.
Facts. In the African American community, we are notorious for that.
Please, if your child is not ready, do not turn them over to the free world. They will be lunch. They're going to be the world's punching bag. They're going to be doing any and everything out here because they are not ready. Only turn your child loose, man, when they're ready. I've seen it all the time with kids come to college, man, they're not ready for life. They doing everything in the college. They whatever the wind blows, they going with it because they don't know how to be an adult. So they sleep around, they get into drugs, they get into this, they not going to class, they partying, they doing this, they stealing, they scamming, it's all kind of stuff. And before you know it, they caught up in all kind of crap. And it begins to shape them of who they are. And that's how they learn to live their life as a dysfunctional individual. So they don't know how to hold down a job. They don't feel comfortable holding the job down. I gotta go hustle. I gotta go sell something. I gotta go sell drugs. I gotta go scam. Because that's the individual that you raised. You know your child isn't responsible. Do not put an irresponsible child out here. You raise a child who don't even value life. You got kids out here who want to catch a body, who want to kill people. And we celebrate that mess. We celebrate being gangsters and shooters. We celebrate that in the black community. Nobody celebrates that more than black people. Especially black women. Because they lead the country in buying gangster music. We have two biggest epidemics in our community: gangsterism and homosexuality.
And abortions.
Oh boy, we don't want to get to that. We the murder cap, boy.
Yeah, we lead the league in that too.
Murder capital. Some people, man, they guilty of double, triple, quadruple homicide.
Yeah. That's a fact.
I don't understand this. Do not sleep with somebody that you don't want to commit to. If they're not good enough to commit to, they're not good enough to lay down with.
They got it so backwards. They so quick to lay down with somebody. Boy, if you start talking about marriage or a committed relationship,
that's too much. Ooh,
that's too much. Ooh,
that's commitment too big. But you're gonna have a baby for 18 years.
And then even after that, you still gonna be connected through that child. But you rather risk that than being in a committed marriage with someone.
Man, backwards, man. It's backwards way of living, man.
But when you open that door, man, you think like that, man.
It's a backwards way of living.
You think like that. And they think that's logical, man, which is asinine.
You lay down, man. And every time you lay down with somebody, man, you take hold to whatever spirit is tagging onto them. And if you jumping from body to body, you're getting something from every person you lay down with. And now you want to go get married. And until you are delivered from that, you'll be comparing the one you with to all those girls you've been with, or to all those men you've been with. And now you want to put all that on her or all that on him in order to fulfill. And now that's how we get this epidemic that we have of, I'm not happy. I want to leave.
Bro, if I hear that one more time, that I'm not happy or my truth.
Which is happiness is just an emotion.
It's fleeting.
It's fleeting. It goes and comes. You shouldn't be with somebody because they make you happy alone. You're in charge of your own happiness. I didn't get with my wife because she's gonna make me happy. Now being with her makes me happy, but I didn't get with her because she's gonna make me happy. I'm supposed to already be happy before I get with her. I didn't get with my wife so she can cook and clean for me. Some guys out here like, oh yeah, man, she needs to be in the kitchen and doing this. Like, oh, when you're looking for a maid, you're not looking for a helpmate. You're looking for somebody that's gonna do all the stuff you don't want to do. or you hear young ladies like, oh, you know, I didn't do this unless he make this kind of money or he has this and that. Oh, so you looking for a pimp.
Yep. Say you're a prostitute without saying you're a prostitute.
So you got guys out there looking for a maid, and you got women out there looking for a pimp. Man, I say this, man, all this, man, we got to do better, man. And it starts with parenting. The reason why things are the way they are is because parents are bad. The parents want to be friends with the kids, want to be cool with the kids, don't hold the kid accountable for nothing.
What they call it, soft parenting now? Is that what it's called?
I think that's what it is. It ain't even soft parenting. It ain't no kind of parenting. Your child cut up at the school, but it's everybody else's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Like I tell my child, man, you have a standard that I expect for you to uphold. If you uphold your standard, me and your mama will back you 100%.
Yeah.
In every situation. If you go to school and you uphold your standard and the teacher's tripping, then we'll come to school and we'll go to bat for you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not upholding your standard, now I got to come down on you. Now I'm going to come out on the teacher too, but I got to come down on you too. Because you're not out the clear because you didn't do what you were supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure, son, it's not your fault. And that's what I tell my son. Make sure it's not your fault, man. Do what you're supposed to do. Behave the way that you've been taught to behave. Like I told my son, like, hey, man, somebody put their hands on you and you go to work, tell them to call your daddy.
Got no quarrels with me, son.
And they called me up there and I said, oh, yes, I did. I did tell them, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Oh, we can't have that. Well, I'm sorry. Teach the other kids how to behave. But my child is not going to come home bruised up and marked up. Now, he's also been taught not to start anything. And that's not even his character. But he's been taught not to start anything. He's also been taught to diffuse situations. And this is what we're missing in the Black community now. Our kids don't know how to diffuse nothing.
It's zero and up.
It's zero or it ain't nothing. It's I'm going to 100 or nothing. We don't know how to diffuse nothing. And a lot of this because a lot of our kids don't know how to read. They don't know how to have proper conversations. You ever try to have a conversation with some of these young kids?
All these broken sentences. Can't pronounce words.
Nothing.
Can't put together a sentence.
They can't pronounce words. They would try to pronounce them. Like growing up, we had to learn how to diffuse situations.
That's a fact.
We had to learn when to fight, when not to fight, who to fight, when to fight them, when not to fight them, where we was, when we need to be there. And this comes from a lot too when your child is so sheltered. Like when your child is too sheltered.
Yeah.
Like they never had to deal with anything or any situations.
They have to go through some adversity so they know how to deal and navigate it.
So as a parent, I create adversity for him so he can learn how to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
So he can come up with solutions for himself within a controlled adversity that I have built for him. Man, people out there, man, be safe, man. Educate your children. Try to educate yourself. Stay prayed up out there, man, because you never know what waits around the corner. You never know what the enemy has in store or what attack he has in store for you or your family. So, man, stay prayed up. Love your people. Look out for your people. You never know when you might not see them again. And shout out to this young guy's Kyren Lacy, his family, man. A tragic story. We pray for you. we send our condolences, and we pray that justice will be served. And man, without further ado, man, we'll see you guys next time on the next reaction. If you have any questions, any statements, leave them in the comments. Or man, you can hit us up on any social media platform and let that be known. And also, man, remember, it don't cost you nothing to hit that like, share, subscribe button, man. But until next time, peace out.